I've had good homemade mac and cheese. Okay,
Okay.
I am agreeing to that. I have had good ones before. What I'm saying is that everybody will always say mine is the best. Not me personally. Like they're saying theirs is the best. They're hyping it up like crazy, and I go to have it, and it just tastes meh.
No, that's fair. You do know a lot of white people, so
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So realistically speaking, when I bring you your comics,
We just have a day for that.
it will be in May because currently I am not available until May. Which I love the fact that I've changed my fucking job and yet that is still a thing where I'm not available until May. Shout out to the 14 Tinder match or no, I'm on Hinge. I'm on Hinge. I got on Hinge. Hinge is
really,
pretty
I
good.
thought you were unhinged.
Accurate, actually. Anyway, to the 14 Hinge matches that I've had, they've asked me out, and I have to say no because I literally have done nothing but work 14-hour days since April started, and will not stop working 14-hour days until the 21st when my production.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Chuck? What are you doing?
I am the only person in my.
We talked about this. You're supposed to say no.
Also, what happened to the
It's
girl
my
in Virginia?
business. I don't get. Who do I say no to? Me?
Well,
yeah.
I say no to me all the time.
I say no to myself all the time.
No.
If I don't say no to myself, I do terrible.
Yeah, actually, Ron policing himself is probably the most smartest thing Ron's ever done. He would be an absolute menace to society. You know what is a menace to society? Anyway, so yeah, but do they even look? Okay, so like
I thought that was
going to
be a segue into this movie.
It was, but I forgot. Listen, I am on my brain is on like 13% right now, so it is absolutely. This is going to be a tough episode for me specifically. But so I start with like a bechamel, but then I turn it into an Alfredo, and then I add my cheeses. So and then
what
I
is
use
bechamel.
It's a cream. It's cream sauce. It's just cream and roux.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the 5 mother sauces. And then I essentially make it into an Alfredo, butter, garlic, and Parmesan cheese, and then I incorporate all my other cheeses. Gotta have a variety of cheese. You get cheddar for the flavor. You get provolone for consistency. Swiss for the melt. American cheese for texture. Every time, a beautiful slice process. Get a Cooper American. Hell yeah, it's
okay,
top notch. And then I use cavatappi, not elbows, because elbows are stupid. And specifically cavatappi with ridges holds the sauce better.
Yeah,
and then I top it with Parmesan and more cheese, and usually some type of cracker, like a butter, like club cracker, that I pulverize so it's like dust, and then I bake it. I'm a bake guy. I'm not a pan sauce cheese guy. I got to bake mine.
Yeah. So what I like to do is I like to take me some noodles, and I'm mixing a little bit of butter and then some milk, and then I whip that up all nice and pretty like until it's nice and warm. I start throwing in some Gouda cheese, and then a little bit of that cheddar. And then, you mix that all up in there all nice and mushy like until it's got a nice consistency. You pour that in on top of your noodles, throw it in the oven, bake it, throw some cheese on top of it, bake it again, and then crumble, usually club crackers.
Yeah, and I just throw up a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese and just pour it.
All right. Well, fuck you. Listen, fuck you.
So basically, Joey's mac and cheese is the fist of the North Star of the mac and cheeses on this show.
Yeah. 100%. Pro tip for everybody out there: anytime you make a cream sauce or a cream soup, shot of Worcestershire and a shot of hot sauce will collectively always make it taste better.
Okay. Yeah, I always put Worcestershire in my soups and my mac and cheese because I just like the way it tastes.
Yeah, it just adds it's a nice
little salty, like smoky, goodness.
Yeah. You know what isn't a salty, smoky goodness, but I did thoroughly enjoy. Fist of the North Star, brothers, sisters, gender resistors. Welcome to another episode of the Comic Book Rundown presents Rundown Reviews. We hope you enjoyed Chuck's cooking corner at the opening here.
Go check that out. Kicked out of the kitchen. No, Ian kicked.
I don't have access to that anymore because I think it got hacked and then somebody changed my password. I've not been able to log into it ever since.
At
the time of recording anyway, TikTok's gonna go away again, and at this point I just don't even fucking care anymore.
Well,
so
I mean, it got signed for another 75 days, so
Oh!
it's still gonna go away.
To the surprise of no one.
Look, we
Yeah.
just have to keep thanking Dictator Trump. All right, for
Thank
our
him
access
every
to
day.
TikTok.
Make sure you worship your little your photo next to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Jesus
Is
poster.
now
first
is now
off, it's
broccoli
below-
Jesus.
It's first off, it's below Obi-Wan Kenobi because he's got the high ground. Okay,
That's true.
Got a point there. Anyway, no, we watched Fist of the North Star from 1996.
the
Did
live
find
action.
out
Fist of
the
North
live
Star.
action. Did find out this actually came out in Japan in April of 1995. It was released in America in February of 1996. Really weird, but because it's based off of a manga series, makes sense why it went to Japan first.
Right. So let me start. I have just so many questions about this. One,
Wow.
was this a made-for-TV movie?
No.
This was a full
Yes.
theatrical release movie?
As far as I'm aware, it was, yeah.
Wow.
Wild. Okay,
Wow.
because it does not have
And
the
it didn't
vibe
come
of
out-
that.
Let me double
And it
check
didn't
that.
come out in the 80s.
No.
I mean, okay, well, to be fair, it looked like Mortal Kombat. It was to the same caliber of the original Mortal Kombat? Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
wait, hold on. Okay, so it went to theaters in Japan. Is that right?
I don't know. You got the stuff.
Yes, it went to theaters in Japan, but it was released direct to video in America. Wait. Maybe it was direct to video in Japan as well. Hold on, release. Yeah, no, it went to theaters in Japan. It had the Japanese voice actors from the anime to do go over
to
these guys.
voiceover.
Yeah.
All right, second question. Did you all watch the anime like I had recommended
I did not
prior
have
to
time
watching
to do
it?
it.
I did,
Uh-huh.
and I like the anime better. And even
So-
that, like I was confused because the anime was when I looked into it, the movie was the first 72 chapters of the manga
Uh-huh.
crushed into the anime, which
Right.
it felt that way because they would have a plot point and then like I'm not gonna say no resolution, but it felt very quick in its execution. Until then they moved on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. So like it felt like they were doing multiple arcs that they just truncated into like one, 15-minute segment.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed
So I have to ask the question, Joey. Have you ever watched something that has like a spin-off or an adaptation where it is almost identical and yet completely opposite at the same time of the thing that it's made? Because there are moments where it's like almost a shot for shot of of the anime,
Yeah.
and then it is nothing like the anime at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Mainly the shocking level of violence in the movie to like also like the special effects of it. So like the whole thing is like he's this like kung fu master guy, and he can in the most ridiculous way possible punch you like 100 times in the chest specifically, which always looks cool in anime and never looks good.
It looks so bad.
Yeah,
it
looks
like dog shit in the movie.
It looked like it was supposed to be comedic. Like they did it as comedic effect.
And how many times did he do it? Because he only did it like 2 or 3 times total, like all in the chest thing, and then like would walk away. But how many times did he do it? And the guy he did it to was just like standing there looking at him like, "What are you doing, dude? You're dumb."
Yeah,
Now,
and he's like, "Oh, you're already dead." And then
Yeah.
as he walks away, then the dude's head explodes.
Yeah.
Well, except for the one dude who straps his head down with okay, so I had said when I saw that dude's mask, it reminded me of Big Van Vader, right?
Wow,
and then the motherfucker
you.
shows up like what 20 minutes later in the movie,
yeah.
And I'm just like, that is fucking hilarious.
Now, I agree with his statement that the mask he wore definitely looked like, Vader's. A little bit, not completely.
Not like completely, but enough to where it was like
it reminded me of him.
There's like 90 other masked wrestlers that he looked more like than Van Vader. Mankind. It looked more like Mankind's mask.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
Daryl, were you trying to hurt me today? Is that what you were trying to do?
Of course not. If I was trying to hurt
dare
you,
you.
I'd talk about how Arnold Schwarzenegger is probably going to die soon.
Okay. I don't know.
Not sure about that one.
It's not true. I'm just saying. Like, if I was trying to hurt Chuck, that's what I would do.
I've had such a hard day, and then you do this to me. I don't understand. Why can't you just love me, Ron?
I do love you.
Why do you have to hurt me so deep?
Sorry, I didn't mean to go. Look, I was just stating that, like, because the way the straps go across his face, because like Mankind is like a muzzle almost, isn't it? Like,
no,
that's how
it goes
across his forehead, and then it goes down his nose, and then it comes into like a mouthpiece across his mouth.
No, his mouthpiece is open. His mouth is open. He actually looks more like I actually would recommend looking up fuck was his name? Max Moon. He looks more like Max Moon, who was also at one point Conan. If you watch WCW, look up Max Moon. He looks a lot like Max Moon.
Yeah, no, look, man, like Mankind is like.
Hold on. Here, I'm sharing the screen. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
See, there's Mankind.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of. I mean, it's thicker, but it was pretty.
All right,
and then
what was the other one I'm looking up?
Max
Big
Moon.
Man Vader.
Max Moon.
If I remember what his mask looked like, yeah, a little bit more like that.
That looks a lot like Mankind's.
All right, now pull up Big Van Vader.
You're gonna hurt my feelings.
I'm not gonna hurt your feelings.
Why you gotta be like that?
It reminds me more of
Chuck.
that one. Now pull up the dude from the movie. His name was fuck, I don't actually remember what his name was.
His name was not important.
What time is it? It's Vader time. That's my boy. That's my. Okay,
but
the only reason to me, man.
The only reason why I brought this up was because, like, I had made that comment, and then, like, 20 minutes later in the movie, who shows up?
He did show up.
Yeah, he did show the fuck up.
Why? And like, why? Why is he in this movie? There's a couple other guys who I think are like lesser known, like jobber wrestler guys. Like the dude in.
There you go.
It's not even close. Whatever. Okay, moving on. There's a couple other guys in this movie. I thought
there were so many mullets in this movie.
So many what?
Mullets.
Yeah,
it was 95.
Yeah. I know. It hurts.
Billy Ray Cyrus was sweeping the nation, my guy, with the power mullet. Like
he had. Well, no, I was Billy Ray Cyrus or
Bob Thorne.
I mean,
I was going to say Friends in Low Places. That was Garth Brooks.
My dad had a mullet.
My brother had a mullet.
My dad had a mullet until
actually, I think it was in the 80s.
Gosh, after Carly was born, so it was in the late 90s. I think it might have been the early 2000s when my dad finally cut his hair and no longer had his mullet.
Our good friend and king of the raccoon dumpster raccoons, Pony Danza, currently has a mullet.
Okay, but no. But see, here's the difference, though. Okay, because Pony can pull off a mullet.
That's true. That man can wear the fuck out of a mullet,
right? These guys did not look right with the mullets.
Yeah, but they didn't have them kept properly.
And what was
there? It's the dystopian. Yeah, it's dystopian.
Yeah, it's after World War III. Like, of course they won't be able to take care of them properly.
And it rains acid.
And yet Dante Bosco is able to have perfectly bleached hair. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's from the acid rain.
He found out the hard way.
That explains his head, I guess. But speaking of Dante Bosco, good old Rufio himself, getting taken out by a gut shot twice, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Apparently,
Now, and funny thing was, I read in what some of the trivia here that it says Bat dies earlier in the film as opposed to the manga where he remains alive. He died an hour into the movie.
it was like almost at the end of the movie. Yeah.
Like there's no earlier in the film. Like what? So I expected him to die in that very beginning when he gets like tackled, not tackled, hit by
hit.
I think it was Clint Howard character.
Is that the creepy dude?
Well, he was the one riding
The motorcycle.
motorcycle
like
shooting everybody.
Yeah, he's a little creepy dude. It's always a little creepy dude and everything.
Yeah, we saw him in last time we saw him was Solo. He was in Solo.
Yeah. I couldn't remember.
Funny enough,
Ron Howard's brother? That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, funny enough, he was actually because over on Walk Through the Multiverse, with my Multiverse Minutes over there, I found out that he does the voice of Roo in the Winnie the Pooh shorts.
Oh.
Huh.
That's weird.
I mean, he was like 5 at the time, so it would make sense.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
But yeah. So I, was
I
like,
thought
oh,
you
that's
meant like
interesting.
something new.
No,
It's like
back from like the 60s and 70s. He was
Okay.
he was a kid back then.
We also got the return of the bad guy from Tank Girl as the
Malcolm
mentor.
McDowell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is his era of like so I always hear the actors like will like pick a year or a couple of years where they just say no. They never say no to any project that comes their way.
I mean, that's
so they
kind of what
can-
this seems like.
Yeah,
Well,
and
because he did
because
Tank
he
Girl.
did Tank Girl and this, and like
Literally before this, Tank Girl for him.
yeah.
So I'm not gonna say 90s was that era for him, but it very well could have been.
Yeah, but I feel like he like, or at least action movies. Like he doesn't turn down an action movie. Like he's always a bad guy in like an action movie.
I mean, the man is
Technically, he wasn't a
working.
bad guy in this one.
Yeah, he was a
But
good
he
guy.
also looks like a bad guy. 'cause he's got the
I was gonna
spiky
say like
bleach
even if
blonde
he
hair.
wasn't a bad guy, he was still kind of a bad guy in this.
Yeah, I
movie.
mean, he always looks like a bad guy, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking, man, Malcolm McDowell works, man. Like, I had to scroll just to get to here. So in '95, he had the surgeon. He was a doctor. He was a voice on Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Yeah, he was. That's my
movie
favorite
called
cartoon.
Dangerous Indiscretion in '95. Tank Girl, Fist of the North Star. He was in Batman the Animated Series. Okay. Kids of the Round Table. He did Whistler in Spider-Man the Animated Series. Let's see,
Oh my
Fatal
god, he
Pursuit.
did?
Yeah.
Yep, apparently. And then he did the voice for Wing Commander 4. Actually, he was in with. I think he was in the other Wing Commanders as well. But yeah, like he does a lot. We'll see him again when we get to Star Trek Generations because he's in that movie. But that's 95. 96, he had a couple TV roles. Biker Mike from Mars. Oh, I love that.
I haven't thought about that in a long time.
There was actually a new comic out. Like they're trying to reboot it a little bit.
Somebody just released a like high quality like figures. I don't think it was NECA, but it was somebody that did just release Spectrum Mix.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Did not know that. No, you know what? I think you're right. I think I did see that.
It'll never beat when the Street Sharks came out and Vin Diesel did a commercial for him.
But yeah, like the man works. Like even to this day, like he, let's see here, his last project. No, he's on a TV series, Son of the Critch. I don't know. He's the dad in that. Looks like, but you know, the Partisan 24. He had voice acting.
How old is he?
He's born in 43, so that makes him
82.
There we go.
Yeah.
God damn. Because, like, dude, I thought he was old in these movies. Like, he just always looks old, though. I think it's because of the hair.
It's the
acid rain.
Stephen Martin. Yeah, the Steve Martin effect. You know, he was white at 18.
Yeah.
So he just had
No,
white
Steve
hair.
Martin was white his whole life, dude.
I thought he was white.
I do not have the mental capacity for this tonight. Holy shit!
That's twice I've gotten shot.
You got me on that one too. Took me a
Um,
second.
So the dude in the face wraps, is he the big dumb guy from Footloose?
Dude, I haven't seen Footloose in forever, so let me check his profile.
I'll be
Let's
honest,
see.
I'm not really sure I've ever seen Footloose at all, and I'm
Chris-
a Kevin Bacon guy.
Chris Penn, see Shortcuts, Reservoir Dogs, Footloose.
Yeah, I remember
Yep.
from Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, he was in Footloose.
Okay, that's
So is
right.
he in Reservoir Dogs?
Nice Guy Eddie.
Oh shit! Okay.
I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs in forever. I cannot remember.
Yeah, it's been a long
It's one of
time.
the-
I
it's one of
can't.
dudes
I
they
know
talked
the
to
name.
in the diner, isn't it?
Oh, dude, he
Yeah.
passed away in 2006.
Oh no shit.
That sucks.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Also,
Big
there's
Red
somebody in
Pepperonis.
this movie. While I was watching the credits, only name that stuck out to me, other than Dante Bosco, was Downtown Julie Brown.
Yeah.
And when I first saw that, I was like, "Wait, did they hire a hooker for this?"
Nope. She was the so the three leaders of the group that Bat and Lynn were at. She was one of them. She was the one.
Oh, I know what the
Okay.
actress she was. I looked it up afterwards because I was like, but I just was curious because I was like, man, how do you come by a name like Downtown Julie Brown?
She was
become a radio
on-
personality.
Yeah, she's a radio personality.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because she would follow top 40 with what's his nuts every Sunday.
Kasem?
Yeah, and it'd be Downtown Julie Brown like right after that.
I think
Ah.
she's
Because I would
still.
run to the car after church that I was forced to go to catch what the like top 2 songs were, and then she would come on and I'd be like, I don't care about this anymore. She had a really annoying voice for radio, in my opinion.
I feel like she is still doing radio. Like I think she does Sirius XM.
She's got
right?
it. Yeah, she's got a thing on Sirius.
Yeah, because I think I hear it constantly every time I'm flipping through. Okay.
She talks with a fake accent.
No, she's actually British.
Fake British. Don't you know? It's a bit tricky, isn't it?
Like she
That's
was
why
born in the UK. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's a ton of people born in the UK that don't have their accents anymore and then try to get them back.
Fair point. Fair point.
So I had put down in my notes that this gave off mad JoJo's Bizarre Adventure vibes. And then I realized that this came out before JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. And apparently, according to that thing that I saw online, this came out like the manga that this was based off of is also where like JoJo got their start from.
That tracks.
And I didn't know that until now.
Yeah, because the manga came out in the early 80s. 83.
Yeah.
And then JoJo was what?
86, I
90
think, or
or 86?
89.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
I
That
mean,
was early. I thought it was early 90s.
none of us, I think, are huge manga guys, but like it should probably be.
Really? Really? I'm really?
So like,
Really?
okay, so 2 of us aren't virgins, and then there's Joe.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
that's true because 2 of us have kids, so we have proof.
that's not wrong. Well, fucking, what was I even talking about?
Sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
that-
manga. Talk about manga.
yeah, sorry. The Fist of the North Star is like a big deal. Like that is like a really renowned like manga.
Yeah, from what I saw, it like started a lot of manga. Like,
Yeah, a lot.
Really
Like,
helped like shape a lot of like current manga. Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, it is like one of the fathers to like a genre type. I don't know all the types, but
Yeah.
like it was like what started like tragic hero manga like stuff. So
Okay.
Did you guys know that there's a Dragon Ball Z movie from like the 90s?
the animated one
No, like a real one, like a live action.
from the 90s? No.
I'm pretty sure it's from the
No.
90s. Hold on a second. Not
Was
the
it-
garbage one that came out in the aughts.
Which is on our list.
Nah.
I'm gonna torture us with that one. But no, you like. Here's the thing: watching the animated one, it kind of put me in the mindset. So thank you, Chuck, for suggesting that.
Yeah.
Ben, you are right. The live action took almost directly from the animated one, and obviously made it more of a streamlined story. They didn't have all the extra stuff. Like he didn't go and fight Raul or Ray and all that.
Yeah.
But the anime definitely was more violent. Like I was expecting this live action one to have a lot more of kung fu, a lot more fighting. And then when we start out and we get Shin pull up to what's his name, the dad guy, and pull out a gun and just like, I'm gonna kill you now, like, and just shoots him. Like, what the hell?
Because he knew he couldn't win in a fist fight.
Well, no, it should be noted that the North Star and the Southern Cross, I assume they're supposed to be leaders. Is that what the theory was? Are never supposed to actually fight each other. Like that is the whole crux of this story.
So he shot him instead. Gotcha.
Right, but he doesn't. He's like, this isn't a fight. This is an assassination, and then he shoots him with a gun, which is like kind of ridiculous.
Right.
Right off the bat, that happens, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is fucking different." I think I might be interested in this, but
and because I think I was expecting it, I wasn't expecting guns to be in it. Like, if anything, because in the anime movie, he busts up the temple, and the temple just falls on Malcolm McDowell's character, right? Ryukin, whatever his name is.
Ryuku.
Ricola.
I don't know.
Sure.
But it's called Dragon Ball The Magic Begins, and it came out in 1991.
Oh, man. Okay. That's going to be fun. I'll look into that one. Maybe I'll add to the list.
Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
So it's not Z?
Which means it's Goku as a kid. Are we going to see a lot of naked kid in that movie? Because I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it.
I don't think that they do that. I hope not. Anyways, in live action. We must watch different movies, Chuck, because
for legal reasons, no, I do not, Ron. Is this what that feels like? Oh, I don't like that. That's
awful. Also, okay, so you guys have seen Zoolander, right?
It's been a while, but yeah.
The main guy in this, the North Star, the Fist of the North Star, looks like a buffer Zoolander. Like the way that he does with his face.
The sucked in cheeks. I mean, he is very much an archetype of like pretty boy in the 90s.
Well, no, but I mean, like the very specific, like when he looks at the camera and he's like, or he like something serious is going on, he's just like, he gives off that Zoolander like look.
The blue steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was kind of, and Ron, I know you said you didn't get a chance to watch it, but that was kind of what all the guys were in the anime movie.
Which is why it made me think of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because they're all big, buff, muscly boys.
Yeah. That definitely was an art style for the 80s. Like that was very prominent. And then like you get into the 90s and you have a little bit more, I don't want to say chibi-like, but a little bit more rounded and kiddie. And then we get into like 2000s of manga, and it starts becoming like very chibi and cute and changes and
So is anybody else confused by the dad coming back as a zombie and then talking through the one guy and then talking through the girl?
I was very surprised that everybody was okay with this girl floating in there. Yeah.
You're floating. Oh. But also, speaking of the dude, so like that Neville dude that he like possesses, that's like one of the three leaders. Is that the dude that's Kurt Russell's friend in Big Trouble in Little China? Or am I mistaking him for somebody else?
No, I think he's just being racist.
I thought Neville was, because I'm pretty sure Neville was one of the three leaders, and the guy, are you talking about the one that goes and talks to Lynn?
Yeah, isn't that who it was?
That wasn't Neville.
Oh,
Neville was the guy that
He was
Jackal Kills has.
Yeah, he
like,
was the guy that was trying to like kiss their asses and stuff, right?
that's Neville, but that's not the guy that went and talked to Lynn.
Oh, yeah, that is me being racist, and that's my bad.
At least I don't think it is. I don't think it was. That's Novak. Yeah, so yeah, that's you being racist. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about the fight scenes for a minute. Not good, and yet some of the best stuff we've watched yet.
I will say, like, the ending fight with him and Shin.
Oh,
some
yeah,
of the practical were good.
Well, that's not hard though. If you're comparing practical to CG, then yeah. Like it was clear. I don't know where the budget. I guess the budget went to all the set making specifically, because like the sets. Which, by the way, this looks like it was shot on a studio. Like it did not really ever look like they went and shot a location. It looks like they just reused the same set, just moved props around.
Yeah,
which I don't know what kind of bugged me, but.
Look, but also, they could only afford to rent out, an acre of land. Okay.
So but that's what made me think that this was like a made-for-TV movie, or like maybe a direct-to-DVD direct-to-VHS
movie. Yeah, it was only had a $5 million budget, so like,
right.
They definitely.
What do you mean only? Things. With $5 million, I could have made a better movie than this in 1995.
Yeah, but I would say about $2 million of that went to Malcolm McDowell. No, that's not true. I have no idea.
He probably did this for the love of the game. Like he just wanted to do movies. He probably took a huge pay cut to just be this because he read the script and went, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever read."
Float in the air. Let's do it.
Honestly, like I feel like these guys actually, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but the movie was not great. But like these guys seem to have had a good time while they were making it. So, I'll give them props for that. But all in all, this movie is. I've seen better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got, every character in it's whitewashed, right? Because it came from a manga.
Oh yeah.
It
is 100%.
Except not every
except
character.
for Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to, because if we're gonna keep one character, it's of course going to be the one that's overly sexualized, that needs to be Asian and female. But everybody else gets crazy whitewash, and I don't know why I forgot that in the 90s this was a thing, but like. And we were kind of getting to the point where like we were starting to call it out a lot in the 90s, at least, and more in the late 90s.
Yeah,
but
this was definitely filmed early like probably it was filmed in 94, 95.
Yeah, easily. Although the one I thought the thing we watched said it was 95, but maybe
95.
Like I said, it came out in
the Japanese.
I guess it would have been filmed in 94 because.
Yeah, 93 or 94 probably.
Yeah, it came out in April of 95 in Japan and then released in America in 96 in February. So,
but the reason why the whitewashing thing came up for me was because obviously the two main characters are, completely like, white, even though they should have probably been Asian. But also the main bad guy, Shin, looks like, have you guys ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah. I haven't watched it, but I know
he looks like a muscly Dennis. And it just creeped me out the whole time I looked at him.
He did. Oh my god. He looks like Dayman. Or no, was he supposed to be the kid? No. Oh my god, I can think of. Okay. You know what he looks like? He looks like Dennis in the episode. I just realized he looks like Dennis in the episode where the Doyles take them hostage in the bar, and it gets really sweaty, and he's standing there, but he just looks like a slightly buffer version of that version of Dennis. Oh my god!
But that's all I could see. After I saw him the first time I saw them, that was all I could think of. I was like, oh god, it's just like
yeah, that's not good.
Always Sunny. And he kind of has that mentality too,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, this movie was weirdly sexually assaulting. Even for like 95.
Well, it didn't get that way until like the end, really, which was very.
No, they had it right in the beginning too. when the first mob shows up and they're
when
just
they show up
grabbing
and they
women.
attack,
Oh yeah,
when
no,
the
you're right.
crosses-
You're right.
when the Southern Crosses show up, and
Yeah. Now, full disclaimer,
It's-
I did watch this at work because I was on production, but there was a moment where I was like, oh shit, I might not actually be able to watch this at work because this is like a little too much. But then my boss left, so it didn't matter. So
Yeah, I'll say disclaimer for me. It took me 5 or 6 hours to watch this hour-and-a-half movie.
so I invited a friend
What?
of mine over. To
I kept
watch
stopping it. Just had to
No,
like,
it's fair.
oh, I'm gonna go somewhere, and
I
I got bored, man.
I invited a friend of mine over to watch it with me so that I didn't do that because I started watching it on my phone, and like I got into the first like 4 minutes of it, and I'm like, yeah, and then so I'd pause it on my phone. I'd put my I went to do something else. I started doing stuff around the house. I was like, no, I've only got so much time to watch this. I need to watch it. So then I was like, hey, you want to come over and watch a really shitty movie? And she was like, oh, sure, So she came over and we watched this really shitty movie, and then I actually got all the way through it in one sitting.
I blame watching the anime first though, because I actually enjoyed the anime better.
See, if I would have had
The
time,
anime movie.
I would have watched it because it just looking at the video that I saw of it, it looked better than this. But
I actually find the anime kind of boring.
Really?
Yeah, like it's fine, but it's a lot of him just like walking around.
Well, again, that comes with
Dragon Ball what?
they put so much of the anime manga into an hour and 50-minute movie.
I know,
So,
but
like,
I
I feel
kind of liked this better because again, like you said, they kind of streamlined it. They made it like just work better. I don't know.
I'll agree with you on that one, but also I think the quality of the YouTube wasn't great.
No, it
Like,
was dog shit.
I even like tried to.
Oh, yeah,
up it
we were
to
watching that at,
1080p,
like-
and I'm like, oh, still
yeah.
isn't good.
We
No,
watched it
you
at like
couldn't-
4p. Like
Yeah.
it looks.
like the pixels were like this big.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah,
I
and
think-
at the same time, I think it added something to it. Like I just assumed that's how bad it was when it came out.
It's possible. It's very possible. I also just blame whoever like transferred it from whatever DVD
Yeah.
they had or
Yeah.
honestly probably
VHS.
VHS. Yeah, I doubt this is
No,
on DVD either.
I think it's a VHS, but at the beginning of the thing that we watched, it says this has been modified for TV something,
Yes.
which means that they recorded it off
the
of
TV.
somebody's
Yes.
from television.
Recorded
see
it
that
onto a
because-
VHS from TV, then took it
Yeah.
from the VHS, put it onto a disc, took it from the disc, and put it on the computer.
Actually,
Yeah.
if I had to guess, since this was 95, this was a tape traded movie. So it was a VHS from a VHS that was recorded from a television that was probably on HBO. If I had to
That's
guess.
probably accurate.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Yep,
Shout
I
out to the
agree to
tape
that.
traders. Yo, I feel like that is like I know it still kind of exists, like there's like some like Instagram accounts that still do it and stuff. But like I feel like tape trading is like probably like a really true lost thing that we will never ever get back.
Nope. No, you're right.
Oh,
Yep.
what a time.
I
That's one
remember.
of the
I still
best
remember we had some things that had been recorded off TV and still had the commercials.
Yeah.
And dude, going back and watching commercials from like the late '80s, early '90s is fucking wild.
There's a page on Instagram I follow. I think I've shared one or two things.
Yeah, Matthew
in the voice chat.
McCarley. Matt McCarley.
No, I think it's like 80s or 90s something. Yeah. But my dad passed away last year. Angie, my oldest sister, has been going through all of our VHS tapes that were there. My dad had just in a box somewhere. A lot of it was, family memories that she uploaded to a YouTube page strictly for us. Seeing a very young Bella with my parents. Anyway, but there was a couple of like made me cry. Makes me cry.
I wasn't sure what that implied.
It's his baby that's 18 now.
It's my child, my like 2-year-old daughter with
Gotcha.
my mom
Parents?
and my dad.
That's
like,
weird.
It's sad. It makes me want to just good memories. Anyway, but we had like some TGIFs that we recorded, so like those 90s commercials from there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I think Angie was like, do we even need these? I'm like, yeah, keep those tapes. Like upload them somewhere. I want to see those commercials.
Hell yeah.
So
I
don't know if she ever
recommend
did.
if you're into like VHS archive stuff, Matt McCarthy on TikTok, he like that's his whole thing. Is that he goes to like estate sales and stuff and he just gets endless amount of VHS tapes and then he digitizes them and then he'll like pick out commercials or he'll whatever it is and stuff.
Yeah.
He has a whole like lore about it, but it's really good.
That's awesome.
I like his stuff. And he's a good comedian. He was he was a writer for WWE for a long time. He's done a bunch of shows, and he was in The Companion. That was like his newest thing that he did.
Okay.
Which was good. That was the
That's
sex killer robot movie. That just came out around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I went and saw it. I really enjoyed it.
He was the redheaded guy.
The redhead guy.
Yeah, he's an extra. Not extra,
Okay.
supporting cast.
He might have been in the. Okay, I may. Okay,
He doesn't know who you're talking about, but he gets it.
I might have been at with the parties, one of the parties and like the backgrounds.
Probably, yeah.
'Cause I don't think he was one of the main cast.
No, he was like supporting. Anyway,
Okay,
doesn't matter.
anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
VHS are magic.
Okay, so the zoom ins on their faces that they would do, like when they were trying to get it irritated me so much because it reminded me of Star Trek, like the first Star Trek movie that we watched, except for the fact that these ones were humorous because they'd be like,
It was like
right
they had just discovered that the camera could zoom.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like when a kid finds out and just zooms in on everybody's face. Yeah, that's 100% what it looked like.
My only other note I have is at the very towards the very end of the movie when he gets done beating Shin and he walks out the door and all the goons are like running up the stairs and then they just drop and bow down before him because the princess or whatever is walking up there. There's no way that they saw her from the bottom of those stairs around the corner that she walks around.
Yeah, because it took her like almost another minute before she actually came on into view.
Yeah. But they drop down and it's just like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I got a few notes here. Why was Shin's blood burning when he cut himself and it dripped onto the map or whatever? That was weird. No idea. Then the fact that he just let it drip 7 times so that he could, my brother's back. Like, okay, whatever. Also, why have the flashbacks? The flashes to the flashbacks at the very beginning if they're just going to show the flashbacks later?
They needed to buff out.
I was gonna say they just realized they didn't shoot enough footage and they didn't have like a comic book to pull from or anything, so they could just put panels in.
And then they go to a strip club, got to shoot that scene.
Yep.
And then very end when he is he goes to Shin and fights all those guys. I have written down he's Jean-Claude Van Damming all these guys. Because he just does roundhouse kicks. And also,
100% this movie was all of the action was influenced by Jean-Claude. There's no question.
Especially that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
He went through 30 guys. I actually rewound and counted 30 guys he went through that.
Pause.
Crazy?
Okay. No, because you said he went through 30 guys, so you have to say pause or it sounds gay.
I don't make a joke.
Look, if we watch this movie and you didn't think everybody was super gay in it, I got some. Everybody was crazy gay in this movie.
Well, yeah, that's why I thought it was based on, or that's why I thought it was the same vein as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because I always call that JoJo's Homoerotic Adventures because that's what it is.
Shout out to my friend Katie, who will appreciate the new game we're gonna play. Is it gay or is it anime?
It's anime, bud.
What a fun new game we're gonna play.
That sounds wonderful. You need to write down the rules and send it into the boys' chat.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Mainly, it will just be clips of literally nothing. All right, is this gay or is this classified as anime? That'll be.
Wow. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
That's all. I mean, like, I'll
The
give my
movie's like,
score.
the movie's fine. I just don't see
The movie
myself
was
ever
very hard to
watching it again.
watch. Even making fun of it with somebody else, it was still hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's wild. Okay.
So for kill count, I've got a total of 27. If we count all the guys he killed, the 30 guys there at the end that he Jean-Claude Van Dammed, which I assume he just knocked them out, but
He did, because they come back running up the stairs at the end.
I don't think it's the same guys.
Oh, I thought they only had like 20 actors in this.
It wasn't supposed to be the same guys,
Oh,
but they
okay.
ring out of actors.
Well, I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, there are times where like people get killed, and then later on in the movie, I swear to God, I see those extras again, like running around and doing shit.
It's the robot chicken thing where they're explaining to the new recruits for the Empire that Lord Vader doesn't actually have powers; we just pretend he does. And when he chokes somebody out, we just send him back to
Yeah.
training, and he's got like a mustache and glasses on. Johnson's been killed 5 times already. I love that. All right, Ron. Bingo.
Okay. So, I quit paying attention to the bingo like halfway through this, but I'm pretty sure I got
Rude.
most of them. I got hero kills, responsibility thing, comic logic, dead parents, rejected destiny, villain monologue, sexual innuendo, misogyny, fight for control of something, and flashback. A flashback to
Well, we had a flashback.
origin.
So
yeah, origin flashback.
Also, I'm also surprised that you didn't recognize that first family he came to. The husband and wife. The husband was Bob from Batman, Joker's henchman.
Okay, see, I thought it was him, but I was like, I was wrong the last time. I'm not even going to bring it up this time.
That's fair. Nope. This time you have been right.
God damn it.
Plus, you also had your the one guy with the ponytail.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw him in the credits, I'm like, oh, hey.
I also wasn't sure that was him because of how grainy my picture was. I was like, maybe I'm just thinking it looks like him, but
Gotcha. I will do my best to have a list of actors like from the movies we've had, because I know that guy in particular. We've had him like what 4 times now,
at least.
Like he's up there. Heck, even the other guy, Bob, like he's been in 4 movies. I mean, Conan is 2 of them, but he's been in 4 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to have it done by the time we get to the rundown rankings too. So we'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Good try. Good, do my best. I got some time off coming up here. So
all we can ever ask, Joe, is that you try your best and
right.
do the thing and not fail us.
I'm running on fumes with this thing anymore. So, all right, Chuck.
This show? You're running on fumes with us?
No. With everything, I'm reaching my limits. But dudes, I need a break. Not from the show. I love the show.
What, you gonna give us some strikes now? You're gonna leave the show? Joe leaves the show. This is over. It's most of
I'm the one that runs the show.
I've had a hard day, and you're laying this shit on me, man. Like, what are we doing?
What I'm saying is, I may be cutting back on the comic books again, which I didn't really want to do, but from the work I put into the comics is a lot more than what I expected.
Yeah, it's super fair. Also, you have to remember, reading is stupid. So watch movies.
No, the problem is that I've already read the books. It's going back through and making notes of them.
Oh.
Which I'm having a hard time doing.
Just have an AI do it. That's how I do Getting Franchise. At the end of every month on Sundays, we have our show Getting Franchise. Thank you.
Anyway, Chuck, for Spawn Cape, what you got?
Holy shit, this is bad. This don't look good. It never it has a very I just kept watching and going, oh, this is Mortal Kombat. Like the same vibe of like the weird sets being built and the and the special effects and all that stuff.
Mortal
So,
Kombat looked way better than this.
that's I disagree.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Okay.
I would argue, yeah, the first one special effects I think look worse. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Either way, it all looked bad. It was Power Rangers level of like CG.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Which also looked like Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna say 3 out of 7 Spawn Caves. It's not quite a 1 of 1, but it's pretty close.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't really have a lot of special effects in here, but
Yeah,
What
but
they
even
did.
like when they had the boiling acid rain, that looked bad. Like that
Yeah.
looked like they had just put I don't know, like a fan underneath the water or something. And they were clearly using dry ice for like the
Yeah.
smoke coming off and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I mean, that would be more practical.
that's where their
special.
budget is. You know how
Yeah.
expensive fucking dry ice is? Holy shit.
Well, now 95, they could get just down on the
No,
corner
see, that's
store.
the thing. Even back in the 90s, it was expensive.
It was always expensive. It's always
Yeah.
expensive. And now it's even harder to find. We have to drive an hour because when we have to send samples to places, we have to pack it in dry ice for our frozen desserts. And it's like we have to drive like an hour because there's one guy within an hour of us who's certified to sell dry ice.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
I did not pay enough attention for a quote out of context, but I feel like there's probably a bunch of them in here because they were dropping like.
I promise you, they were all within context. Like there was nothing to take out of context. In this movie.
especially toward the end when Jackal was trying to like do whatever to Julia.
I was actually speaking more along the lines of when like Shin would talk about Kenjiro or Kenjiro would talk about Shin. Like there's some bromance that was going on there, some latent homosexuality.
My favorite is scenes out of context where he's poking holes in people with like his fingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just like fingering them all over the place. It's like, what are you doing, dude?
So when that scene came up, I'm like, here's this dude fingering this other dude while he's trying to get this chick to tell her that he loves her.
That wasn't very loud.
Is it going to work this time?
Look.
Phrasing.
There we go.
We have this big empty space.
It's important to understand that Judge Dredd was one of our best episodes for all of the wrong reasons. Joey had drops that nobody could hear except for us. It's like towards the end of Ron's marathon of bad audio.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll have the Star Trek after, and then it's back to good audio.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, that I really feel bad, and that's all on me because when I was listening back to it, I had the combined audio and I heard it, no big deal. And then about midway through, when the audio started to go a little wonky, I'm like, oh, maybe if I pull the individual tracks and then put them together, it'll work. And so I instead of starting at the beginning again and re-editing, I would go back to where I stopped. And man,
that's fair.
Good times. You know what, folks? That's why you love us. That's why you listen to the show. My score.
Oh, well, before we get to the score.
Oh, what are we up to?
Not a
Muppet. Ooh.
So I don't know if you guys saw this, but when Bat died, and he was dying, I guess, there was a puppet laying there. So for me, Not a Muppet is that puppet.
Okay, see, Bat was actually my call for the Not a Muppet because I think it'd be funny to watch him get his ass kicked by a bunch of Muppets and then get stabbed to death by another Muppet.
That's fair.
Yes, that's good. Part of me, it kind of wants Jackal.
So you can see
especially since he's trying to assault a Muppet. That would actually be quite funny too.
Yeah, and also I like the idea that his head's going to explode because of a Muppet.
I like that one too.
But on the other side of that, if it exploded as a Muppet, it could just be like
all the
all the fuzz and stuffing and stuff.
I love that.
What if you're a human and then when you die you explode as a Muppet? Like
That would also be hilarious.
Well, yeah, especially if the earlier ones what's his name? Ponytail guy. Can't remember what his name was in this one. When Ken did his Fist of Fury, where the hell he did, and made him pop his head. Like that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, I lost my train of thought on that one. So yeah, score. What you got?
Okay, so like, listen, this was a movie made for me. Like I had way more fun than you two did clearly with this.
You did.
This 100% passes my Janero continuum. I am 100% putting this on and making fun of it with my friends at holidays. Like, no question. I sent the link to literally so many people with no context whatsoever. I was just like, yo, watch this. And I had, shockingly, of the, like, I'm not joking, dozens of people I sent it to, 3 people watched it and replied back, what the fuck was this? But also, I'm not surprised this came from you. Which I think it really is telling of what my friends think of me. I really liked it. That being said, it's bad. This is not a good movie. It is. I don't know what they were trying to do with this, but it is comically bad in all the right ways. I'm going to be honest, 7.9.
Whew. Look, I'll be honest. Out of this movie and the last one with Black Scorpion, I'm really shocked I didn't get a strike. I expected 2 strikes from these movies.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Black Scorpion had a lot of boobs and a way too long sex scene. So that scored a lot, and then, like, again, I like, this was bad, but it got me through my work, so I really couldn't complain. It does drag. I do wonder if my score would have been lower if I actually would, like, I paid attention to it, but if I like had to sit down and watch it, not just like while I'm working, if I would have been a lot madder at you, but I still really enjoyed it. I don't know.
That's fair. And there are enjoyable parts. I'm not going to say no to that. I just got really bored and was scrolling on my phone the entire time I was watching this.
Yes, that was my fault. That was my problem also, is it wouldn't keep my attention.
Yeah, all the talking dialogue is atrocious. It's the action scenes really do it for me.
So what we need is an action scene cut where it's nothing but the action scenes.
This movie would be a quick 22 minutes.
Perfect. It would have gotten a lot higher score for me.
Basically an episode of the show. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I was not excited about this movie. When I saw like the still frame when Chuck sent the link, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be god awful. It did not disappoint in that, because it was pretty awful. It was kind of awesome, like a lot of the actors they had in this that were like not necessarily bigger names, but like people that I know and recognize. That definitely helps out, because I like, it's kind of fun to like see people. Yeah, even if sometimes I was seeing the wrong people and I'm apparently racist now.
Yeah.
But we did not get boobs in this.
We did not
get boobs in this, and that definitely hurt its score, because I would have probably given it an equal ranking to Black Scorpion if there had been boobs. But since there weren't, I gave this a 2.59. Which is only just a little bit lower than what I gave Black Scorpion, but like I said, boobs. Joey?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what my score would be, because looking at my list, this movie was not great, and just my list that I have. So like my list, not our combined list. Like I would definitely watch, like Double Dragon over this. I would watch the Supergirl movie over this. I would watch both Toxic Avenger 2 and Toxic Avenger 3 over this.
That's a little egregious. That
But
doesn't sound
here's the thing,
real.
though: the Toxic Avenger movies, I know what I'm getting when I go into this. Like, I know they're going to be terrible. This
You
one,
should have known what you were getting going into this.
but here's the problem, though. I watched the anime before this one, so I had some expectations, and the anime like superseded those.
Joey, if I am telling you watch the anime first, then watch this, assume it's because this is going to be objectively worse
Oh no, I know
than
that.
whatever the source material was.
Yes, no, you're not wrong. So what I basically settled on is the same score I gave for Black Scorpion. I would most definitely watch Black Scorpion again, if I'm being honest, because of boobs. But like, there is some fun things in this movie. Like we had just said, it's really more of the action stuff and not really the dialogue. And just seeing him basically be Jean-Claude Van Damme the entire movie. Like, there's the one scene where he just does the splits and then he starts grabbing rocks and breaking it with his arms. Like, okay, why?
Because it's cool, because
So
it was the 90s.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's fine.
Once again, this was a movie made for me.
It was
I thought
a movie
that was
made for you, Chuck.
Yeah,
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I thought that was awesome.
I'm giving it a 2.05. So like I said, same score as Black Scorpion. It gives us a combined score of 4.18, which is so high.
Now you know how we feel, Joe. Now you know how we feel when we hate a movie, but you're like, listen, I'd watch it again, so automatically it just gets a 5.
Yeah, that's how it works. I've been consistent with that since day one. But anyway, so this drops it in at number 109 out of 147 movies, just behind Doctor Strange from 2007, the animated one, and just above Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
I would happily watch this.
I would actually watch
those
over Wrath of Khan also. So I will.
That doesn't shock me one bit. You both hated that movie.
In our defense, though, it was a very bad movie.
Yeah. In our defense, you made us watch garbage.
I was talking to someone.
I may give you a strike again.
We're working toward the better Star Trek movies. Okay, we gotta get to the shit first.
To my friend Michael yesterday, I think it was yesterday, about watching the Star Trek movies, and he's like, "Oh, they were so good," and I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, "Your age is showing," and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Because the only people that think those were good were either people that watched them when they were coming out." I was like, or people that have like nostalgia for them because their dad watched them and now their dad's dead. And he's like, wow, that's oddly specific. And none of that actually happened. The last part of it, I made that up. But
that'd be great.
It would have been pretty great. But no, but like because he's like, you guys got to watch Wrath of Khan. I'm like, what do you mean we got to watch it? I was like, I had to watch it.
A gun was held to our heads, like.
Kind of, sort of, like,
but yeah. So Chuck, where can they find you at?
Hey, you can find me on the internet. It's Kicked Out of the Hood, no Ian Kicked. You can find my hobby page where I'm painting miniatures. I just, at time of recording, and hopefully when this comes out, I got at least some paint on something. If I could have any time to myself, I kitbashed an entire Goliath Necromunda gang. Modifying nearly all of the models. So go check that out. Head over there. Kicked Out of the Hobby, no Ian Kicked. Most importantly, you can find me on this feed at the end of the month, getting Franchise, our once a month additional show for you on Sundays, last Sunday of every month, where we review the latest and greatest of movie franchises. Look, let me give you the Killer's Row real quick. We did Hellraiser. We did Child's Play. We did Evil Dead. We did My Bloody Valentine with Ron, who came on and hung out with us and then made a dope-ass shirt, which I have. I have the dope-ass shirt. Agreed. I got the Xenomorph shirt, and I got Rogan the Hutt shirt. So I got them all.
So the Rogan the Hutt one is the only one I haven't gotten yet.
And that's because like every time I searched for it when I first went to look for it, I couldn't find it. It wouldn't show up. I don't know why. But then when I was getting the other shirts, I saw it there, and I'm just like, "Nah, buddy, sorry, you had your chance."
Oh, come on.
I'll probably still get it eventually, but you know.
I think because I spelled it like either one T or two T's. I don't remember how I spelled it. To throw off the Disney from hitting us. So again,
fuck you, Disney. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just had Forgiving Franchise. We just had Evil Dead come out. End of this month. I believe it's Candyman.
Yes, it would be Candyman.
Yeah.
So, and what to look forward to. Joe and I just got done recording, in a couple of months it will be coming out. We also did the Evil Dead, we did Dawn of the Dead, which objectively, you know what, I think will be a controversial episode for us.
See, before I listen to the episode, I'm gonna have to watch the old Dawn of the Dead because I've never seen it.
Watch it with somebody.
Yeah, definitely watch it with somebody. You have to watch it with somebody to keep you awake during it.
Okay.
And secondly, and then recently we watched Pet Sematary, which in fact was something I had never seen before. And as per usual, Stephen King was on copious amounts of cocaine when he wrote that. So
you guys, I mean, listening to that one, you guys, I think that was a fun recording. We had differing opinions for once.
Oh,
yeah, we don't usually. Yeah. Also, I'd just like to say, head over to our YouTube because Joe looks like he's about to punch me in the head. The way your arm lines up with the background, it looks like you're punching me in the head.
Okay.
Wrong arm.
Wrong
that
arm.
looks like you're trying to jerk.
Oh, okay, yes. There we go. Got it.
Yeah, and actually, no, it actually does look like you're about to jerk off into my face, actually. Shout out to Chris.
Normally you have to pay extra for that.
That's true.
Oh, man. All right.
Ron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky at Good at This Game. You can find my art on Instagram at Good Art This Game. And you can find me right here on this fantastic podcast. Joey?
You guys can find the show over on all the social medias, Comic Book Rundown. Email us, comicbookrundown@gmail.com. Rate and review us here in Podcasting App of Choice. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic, along with getting franchised on the final Sunday of every month. I'm sort of doing comics. Like, I know I had talked about we'll have one up, last month. Might be coming back on those again. I said it earlier. I'm struggling really hard with those.
Dude, drop it. Like, there's no sense in.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I said that in the beginning. If I ever get to a point of it becomes a job, I'm going to stop doing it. I love this because I get to watch a movie and then talk about it with my friends, and it's always a good time. Yeah. The comic books, like, it may get to the point where it's all right. If I ever get the notes written up, then I'll cover it. So it might, instead of being a once a month, it may be a once in a while. So
I just drop it whenever.
Yeah. Basically.
I mean,
the show's coming out. It is.
Yeah. Do what you want, man.
And then
what's our next movie there?
Our next movie.
Oh shit!
Wait, where can you find the shirts?
Here at TeePublic and
Redbubble and TeePublic. I gotta start putting the stuff back up on the Redbubble. I figure get two avenues of places for us. Even though literally nobody's buying anything from Redbubble, but
objectively the quality is better at TeePublic.
It really is.
Yeah,
I think so. At least because I bought a couple from Redbubble at first, and those shirts, like the graphics on there tore away so quickly. Yeah, it was so annoying. Anyway, our next movie, we're gonna be watching Barbed Wire. Sorry,
is that the Pamela Anderson one?
Pamela Anderson movie.
Yep.
Ooh,
based on a comic.
And it's called Barbed Wire or Barbed Wire?
Barb Wire. Two separate words.
Because her name is Barb.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Never seen it before. So
me neither. Actually.
I want to say I saw the TBS. No, it must have been on USA because
I feel like this was definitely a HBO project that was shown constantly.
I saw the TV adaptation because it's like super censored.
Yeah.
That's the best.
But with that being said, this goes one of two ways because I know that it is notoriously not good
Uh-huh.
and almost derailed her career.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but I did enjoy this, so we'll see.
Yeah, look, I was just afraid that by the time we get to Star Trek
You were gonna have your
5,
3 strikes
I was
already.
gonna have 3
Yeah.
strikes. Yeah. So the fact that I have no strikes right now, I'm happy.
That's true.
If
It's
this
pretty
next
impressive.
movie gives a strike, I'm okay with it.
It may
Because
give
the
2.
movie
Listen, I could give 2 strikes.
No,
Who
you
knows?
can't. Nope, you can't. That's not the rules
My
that I
strike
made up for
system.
you. Because I'm almost positive the movie after might get a strike taken away, but it also might just be nostalgia for me. But anyway, we'll get there. You
Stop
guys will
being so
hear it,
fucking cryptic with your goddamn movies, man.
but I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you
Bye.
next time.
Enjoy it too.